If I was a bad bitch, I wanna need to. I wanna need to. I wanna need to. Nah, I was good with y'all, boy. I'm doing it. Nah, I don't wanna be disrespectful, but Tommy G put up on the Muslims in Chicago. Look, a lot of folks. A lot of folks get locked up and become Muslims, especially black folks. Black Muslims. I seen Charleston White was talking about the black Muslims, like, and he has a negative narrative about them. He don't like them too much. I feel like personally, I don't know what my life holds in the future. Honestly, if I'm being real, but I don't think I would ever switch to a Muslim. I'm a Christian, not a hard Christian. It's not like I devote my life to it, but definitely believe in the man above. Definitely pray to the man above. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe in Muslims. In the Islamic religion, they kind of believe in a lot of similar things we do. They just got Muhammad as a prophet, Allah as a prophet, I think, or something like that. I don't want to be ignorant and all that, but you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Let's see what the boys in Chicago are talking about. The Muslims are Oblak. You know, all these boys did a bid, came home back Muslim. You feel me? Went home Christian, came back Muslim now. I ain't trying to be funny, but you know, yeah. Every nigga go home, come back Muslim.
Seen an O-Block over the years? I noticed you had bear mace on you. Have you already used it?
I use it a few times.
To be able to be a big brother to these brothers, to be able to show them that it's more to just the streets.
Who is?
Tommy G.
Yo. Hey, I'm Gleech, man. Welcome to this place they call O-Block, you see what I'm saying? Shout out to Muslim Maddox and my boy Tommy G. Come on.
Not from 63rd.
Think you ever want to go on a pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia?
I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
You are?
Man, I'm going to Mecca, touch the Kaaba, all that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Chicago's O-Block is one of the most notorious housing projects in the country. O-Block has been home to many notable people throughout its history. Chief Keef, King Von.
If they're able to and fortunate, they gotta make the trip to Mecca in their life and stuff like that. Like,
Little Dirk, and even former First Lady Michelle Obama. The apartment complex is located on 64th and MLK Drive on Chicago's South Side. It was built in 1950 to house the influx of African Americans coming to Chicago during the Second Great Migration. Upon its opening, it was celebrated as the first African American co-op in the country, and it was noted for having high quality and spacious units relative to the other low-income housing on the market. As ownership of the co-op went private in the 1980s, the quality of the units began to decline, and violence in the area increased as jobs moved overseas and drugs flooded the streets. In 2011, O-Block earned its name in honor of 20-year-old resident O.D. Perry, who was shot dead by a rival gang member. From then on, O-Block's infamous reputation as a dangerous area began to spread around the country, and it's since been known as one of drill rap's ground zero locations. As of recently, a new movement has been growing in O-Block, Islam. I learned about this from 2 Muslim YouTube channels, and this got me connected to Gleech. Been growing in O-Block, Islam. I learned about this from 2 Muslim YouTube.
I was shot. O-Block gangsters accept Muslim way. Look,
YouTube channels.
You go there and look, one thing about these niggas and these cliques and gang shit. You go there and make them feel like they part of something, bro, and they just became a Muslim, they would feel like, you know, they will revert back on that gang life stuff, and like, this will become their new gang, you know what I'm saying? They would feel like they part of something, even though it's positive, they still get that gang life image, you know what I'm saying? So they'll still be in there, you feel me?
This got me connected to Gleech, an O-Block Muslim spreading the word on his faith. It brings the question, is this the movement that can bring peace and safety back to the area? Let's hit the streets and explore this more.
I think it could definitely help a major way.
More money, more problems. Bitch, I ain't tripping cause I want it all.
You young, you just
my head has been robbing, my head has been trapping, trying to get the shit off.
He making movies. This nigga making movies now, boy. He started off with wrestling folks on the beach. Now he making movies, nigga. 40-minute movie.
Folks, we're on our way to the notorious O-Block to explore a very interesting story that's been developing, which is a large conversion to Islam by many of their...
If he wanted to, he could definitely get this like sponsored page, or he could get Tommy G can run up some money and all this shit. But he don't need Do it by yourself, dog, and run up all the ass.
Residents. And I'm curious to discover the impact Islam is having on O Block, because to me, you know, you might disagree with a lot of things about religion, but I do think religion gives you the old school values that people can agree on, like don't steal, don't covet, don't lust, things that can guide your life and are solid advice. I grew up in a really religious family. I attended a mega church when I was a kid, Willow Creek, South Barrington, an enormous place that they literally have a shuttle bus from your parking spot to the front. That's how big this church is. While some Bible stories I find helpful or meaningful, a lot of the Bible is hard for me to, especially the Old Testament, is really hard for me to like or enjoy or see why anyone would subscribe to it. But as a kid, I always saw my mom was deeply religious. Like, she spends every morning reading the Bible, studying, and she's a cool Christian. Like, she's someone I can go say, hey mom, I just went to a jungle in Ecuador and I did ayahuasca. She doesn't judge you for it. I really love my mom. She's one of my best friends because I can tell her anything and she doesn't approach me with judgment. I think there's a lot of value in good religious people in a society. I don't know a ton about Islam, so I'm intrigued to learn more. Also, when you mix O Block with it, man, this is an interesting story coming fresh off the press. So we'll see you when we get closer to O Block.
Hey, first things first, we got hot boy cooking. I'm in the yo gassed up off cooking. Fuck niggas mad cause this hoe keep looking. That's cause if I wanted that bitch get took. I done came in this bitch, started crashing the beat.
It's kind of a intimidating place because it looks like a mixture of a place to live and a prison. Like, you have fences with sharp little points, it's all fenced in. You have your own security force in O Block. Feels like a place like when you get in there, it's hard to get out. What's up, brother? Don't film?
No, not while we walking in. I gotta get y'all in first. You know that. Put y'all cameras up like in y'all book bag. So I'm gonna come get y'all in.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Guys, t-shirts are on the site right now, flying off the shelves. But even cooler, the Big Dog Gotta Eat sweatshirt. They sold out in 36 hours last time. Get yours. Freshest thing on the market right now. Big Dog's gotta eat, especially during Ramadan. After the sun goes down, you gotta eat, you know what I mean? Rep the movement, get it while supplies last. Appreciate your support. TommyJimmyGee.com. What's up, brother? Good to meet you. Tell us where we are right now.
Man, we going right here on Kings Drive. That's O Block caution. That's where we finna go.
Let's give you the backstory on Gleesh. Little did I know that he was one of King Vong's close friends, and he even had a song named after him called Gleesh Place with 23 million views. This is a track about home invasions and robberies and features a story where King Vong hit a lick for $50,000 and went straight to Gleesh's apartment with the loot, whereupon Vaughn and Gleesh had a discussion about buying cars and guns with the proceeds.
Wow. Pulled up on him and said, hey cousin, we came up now, you feel me?
I often try and do very little research on people before meeting so I can get an unbiased impression of who they are today versus who they were in the past. So I was unaware of Gleesh's relationship with Vaughn when I met him today in O Block. Gleesh is a fashion designer, he's a rapper, and he's the front runner of the O Block Muslim movement. Let's meet the man.
What's up, big guy? You good?
Yeah, that's my hope.
That's one thing about Chicago, cause Dominic tripping, but one thing I noticed about what was I finna say? Oh, Chicago folks, bro. You get the Chicago folks that's high heads, and they would be high heads young. They'll be high heads only to about 21, 23, 25, and then they become like different type of entrepreneurs. I ain't gonna lie, they get their own motion. They be selling. Niggas in Chicago know how to go get it. That's one thing I say. Niggas in Chicago know how to like be independent and just go get it, bro. Know how to work, know how to keep their head down. That's one thing I say about Chicago niggas. But I know a lot of Chicago niggas. Them niggas be like independent and they get their own shit. They find their own motion. They make it work. They make shit happen, dog. I ain't gonna lie, they make shit
Let's
happen.
meet the man.
What's up, big guy? You good?
Yeah, that's my hope. He was telling me he had some brothers. They powerful.
I'm Duty Law.
Tell us what you got on right now. That's new attire I haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah, I got my throw on, my Muslim throw, my kufi, my Muslim chain.
Was it hard to start rocking that? Because that's not typical outfit in this area.
I had to get used to it.
Do people ask you a lot of questions when they see you wearing that?
Yeah, they think it's a dress. I don't take that lightly, but it's a throw.
Yeah. What percent of people around here you think know about the Muslim movement?
2 billion Muslims throughout the world.
Arguably the biggest religion in the world.
Yeah, I'm Duty Law.
How long have you been involved in it?
Like 2-3 years. Okay. Right now it's Ramadan. Right now.
How you feeling?
I'm good, but I can't eat or drink.
I knew guys on my wrestling team that were Muslim wrestlers, and so they would go an entire practice without eating or drinking, and that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, it takes discipline. It's really a man thing. Man over matter.
Last time I was here, the security here is pretty tight.
Yeah, they tight right now. They real tight.
So does that mean that O Block has gotten safer?
Everywhere all the same. saying? It's just they got to tighten up their security, so that's the type of stuff they do.
This arguably could be the most notorious project in the entire country. Is that a bullet hole right there?
That's a bullet hole, but it's natural. You go somewhere else, bullet hole.
Happy Ramadan. How are you? What does Ramadan mean to you guys?
I mean a lot of things.
Not just eating and drinking.
Be nice to other people.
Yeah, he's one of the guys I look up to too. He make sure I'm good. You feel me?
You have to care for other.
They don't touch their wives. Some of them niggas Ramazan be crazy. Like they really sacrifice. And they realize what all they get. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Ramadan. I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing about the Muslim religion. I fuck with Ramadan and the principles behind it. Not just niggas fasting to lose weight. Like you fasting to realize what your what is it like your blessings in life, like the stuff that you don't have to get every day that you're not blessed with, that you're blessed with, that doesn't have to be there. You feel me? That's why I rock with the principles behind Ramadan. I ain't even gonna hold you.
People, they teach you that there's a lot of people on earth that don't have no food, no drinks, nothing. So you have to think about other people before you think about yourself.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Are there any Arabic words you could teach the audience?
Alhamdulillah is the best.
Shukran, thank you. How did you get the name Gleesh? I've never met a Gleesh before.
Look.
Big Von.
They just call me Gleesh. They just made the name. Okay, I'll run with it.
Is Von looked at as a hero or a villain?
Von is a hero.
Yeah.
Everybody always looking at somebody bad. He a hero.
Because some people love him for who he was as a rapper.
It ain't about what he did in the hood. It's about what he did out the hood. He made it out that bit, man.
For some people, like that guy was a serial killer.
Nah, he ain't no killer at all. That's a good guy, man. He made everybody really start loving each other.
I didn't realize Gleesh and Von had been close friends when I asked this question, but let me give you some background as to why I asked about Von. By many within O-Block in Chicago, Von was heralded as a rap hero who broke out the mold of poverty and launched himself into superstardom.
Got a drop on this flexing nigga. He from Tennessee, ain't had a thought.
His lyrics stood out for both his fantastic storytelling ability and the extreme violence of his words, but some suspect his rapping was more than just storytelling. In fact, YouTube's premier hip-hop historian Trap Lore Ross has a detailed and exhaustive 3.5-hour analysis proclaiming King Von to be rap's first serial killer, and King Von himself literally put out tweets like, "Man, I'm just trying to kill, and I can name 5 GDs I done killed." All this aside, I wasn't here to speak. Man, I'm just trying to kill, and I can name 5 GDs I done killed. All this aside, I wasn't here to speak with Gleesh about King Von or violence from the past. I was here to learn about his story and about the spread of Islam through O-Block.
Did he get the cameras now? Hit the cameras so we walk in.
So we get past security. Really be up in these blicks.
We're in the fortress now. It's not easy to get into O-Block, huh? How long have you been here for?
Quite a while. It's a beautiful place. It's like everywhere else.
How you doing, man? I'm Tommy. Are you guys Muslims too?
Nah, they ain't Muslims.
People in O-Block are thinking about joining. What would you say are like the selling points? Like why should they join the movement?
I could just bring with me and they could, you feel me, get experience on their own. You gotta learn stuff to do it. I could just tell you, oh, you finna be Muslim.
What has it brought into your life?
A lot of beautiful things.
Yeah, like what?
I got a business. I got all types of stuff going on. You see what I'm saying?
Before you were Muslim to now, like what's changed for you?
Be disciplined, the way I act with other people.
Do you feel like being a Muslim has helped you to treat other people better?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The way you act, the way you dress, the way you talk, all that. And caring about others, like, you know. So
I feel like especially for young men, if we are disciplined, there's so much we can accomplish in this life. But if we're not disciplined, we're kind of I don't want to say we take up space, but we're not what we could be. So give me the tour.
Alright, go downtown to Louis.
Lulu, okay.
You guys are going to Lululemon?
Nah, he going to Louis V, man.
You come from like more of the rap world. Materialism is a high priority, like Gucci bags, Louis bags. What does Islam think about all that?
I mean, it's alright, but I don't too much care for that.
Where are we right now?
We at my mom's house. I'm gonna move out of there soon.
Where do you want to move to?
I'm gonna move somewhere nice.
You want to stay in Chicago? You want to move out of the city? You want to move out of the state?
Eventually it's to move out of Chicago though.
Yeah. How many guys in this room are Muslims?
They Muslims.
So what do you think about joining Islam or becoming a Muslim? What do you think about it?
Supposed to be a nigga, you being true to yourself.
Do you think, hey, this is something I want to do one day? What do you think about it?
Supposed to be a nigga, you being true to yourself.
Do you think, hey, this is something I want to do one day? Or is it like, nah, it's not for me?
I don't know.
Yeah, anything in the process will take time.
Especially something like that is a big commitment. It's not like you're just done with it in a day. Like if you commit to being a Muslim, like that's a big new life change, you know? I grew up in a very Christian family, but I've never felt called to dedicate my life to it, you know? Because you have to really change everything you do from that point on.
Like, yeah, you can be Christian or whatever, but like, I don't know what they do, like, follow, like, discipline, like, when it's time, like.
I mean, it depends. Muslims are a lot more disciplined than Christians.
Yeah,
like, they
like
5 times
like
a day. I would say, like, the disciplined Christians, like my mom, every day when she wakes up, she reads the Bible, prays.
Yeah, but what about the other people?
A lot of Christians don't do shit.
Yeah, when you're doing this Islam, like, you know, it's a way of life.
Do you have to own anything to be in Islam? Like, do you have to buy like a prayer rug or anything like that?
Nah. I got a couple of them in the room though.
Yeah? You want to show us?
Yeah, it's one it's a do something.
What happened in your life that you're like, this is what I want to do?
The discipline, I was just doing a lot of stuff. Like, it didn't want to. It just made me get on everything I was supposed to get on, like, as far as my business and all that.
How did you hear about it?
Really, Von Uncle. Yeah,
King Von's uncle?
Yeah, King Von Uncle. Then my other brother Sadiq. He been around since we was little. You see what I'm saying?
Is he from O Block too?
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Do you think the FBI knows about? Because I know Muslim groups in the past, like when Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, they had their eyes on that shit. Have you guys ever been visited by like any FBI guy asking about Muslims?
Police are real anyways. We don't worry about this. I don't worry at all.
Well, I think if you're doing nothing wrong, you got nothing to worry about.
Alhamdulillah,
You know?
that's what you said. Ain't nothing going on wrong. You see what I'm saying?
What did your mom think about it when you told you you're Muslim?
She love it.
Is it easier to get men to join or women, or do you get both that join?
A little easier for the man to join, but like you gotta have the sisters around. They gotta really get the right feel of it. You see what I'm saying?
I feel like Islam's a lot.
As a woman, that's a big change. That's a huge, especially American women. To go Muslim, that's a big change, dog.
Tougher for a woman because there's more rules for a woman.
Ain't nothing tough though. It ain't nothing tough.
I mean,
you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Do you think you ever want to go on a pilgrimage?
I mean, it ain't tough, dog. It can be hard.
Saudi Arabia.
The pilgrimage, also known as the Hajj, is the fifth pillar of Islam and is something that every adult Muslim must do at least once in their life. Each year, millions journey to Mecca, shedding titles and distinctions to stand as equals before God. Through rituals rich in symbolism, pilgrims seek spiritual renewal and forgiveness. But the Hajj is more than just a ritual. It's a bond of brotherhood and unity transcending borders and cultures. It was on his pilgrimage that Malcolm X met Muslim brothers from all corners of the globe and where he changed his opinion on race relations forever. Through the GoFundMe link in my description, we can fund Chicago Muslim brothers on their trip to Mecca and hopefully be a small part of helping Chicago to be a more peaceful place. Please consider donating.
I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
You are?
Man, I'm going to Mecca, touch the Kaaba, all that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll be there.
You know that in Afghanistan, in some places, if you get caught listening to music, they'll like beat the shit out of you?
Yeah.
That's pretty insane, isn't it?
That's in the city. That's how it is.
So people that aren't from here aren't hip to this. Explain that. Break that down a little bit more.
Don't go in the wrong area and listen to the wrong stuff. In reality, you can listen to whatever you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Just with the windows up.
Yeah,
There's some music I listen to that I would listen to with
Chicago,
the windows
New York
up because I'm a little
crazy.
embarrassed if someone were to hear me. You guys ever heard of Creed before? No. You're either going to love this or hate this. I'm going to just show you a little sample. I'm going to play like 10 seconds of a song. You tell me if you rock it.
like,
You're just chilling in the car, driving home from the club. You guys feeling this at all or no?
No. Charlie Sunday up there in the mall.
didn't even know.
We were just in New York and it's the same thing where you can only listen to certain guys in certain areas, otherwise it gets treacherous really quickly.
Yeah. A lot of songs would be like a lot of disrespect towards other people, neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't want to go in this area and play this.
What do you guys view as the impact of drill music? Good, bad, in between?
Whatever the narrative the person take with it and they run with it, that's on them. We don't really too much care about that.
You can't change that.
As a Muslim, do you feel like you can go to any neighborhood and you're okay? Like, does that give you more of like a...
Nah, you always gotta tie the camel up. Don't never get me wrong. And what I mean by that, you don't just go doing stuff you naturally don't do.
So how do you think Chicago would change if a lot more people became Muslims?
We can stick together like an iron fist. We can get what we need and what we want, and everybody can be all right.
So unite the people.
Exactly.
Anytime there's a movement of people that get united, whether it's MLK, JFK, Malcolm X, somehow that leader gets taken out. You know what I mean? It's the
I don't
government.
really worry about that because it's like it's no point. Like all we doing is good stuff.
But the government fears when people unite.
Let's explore how the FBI has historically responded to black political movements. Let's take you back to the 1960s when the Black Power movement was sweeping through the United States. This originated as a militant response to the slow progress of civil rights reforms on a national level. The rise of the Black Power movement alarmed the FBI. Under Director J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI viewed the movement as a threat to national security. Through a counterintelligence program called COINTELPRO, a series of covert and at times illegal activities were used by the FBI to infiltrate, discredit, and disrupt black activist organizations. On December 4th of 1969, the aggressive tactics of COINTELPRO culminated in a tragic and controversial event, the assassination of Fred Hampton, the Black Panthers' Illinois chairman. In coordination with the Chicago PD, the FBI orchestrated a pre-dawn raid on Hampton's apartment. Based on detailed floor plans of the apartment provided by the FBI informant who had infiltrated the Black Panthers, law enforcement executed the raid while Hampton was asleep. Armed officers stormed the apartment, and in the hail of gunfire that followed, Fred Hampton and fellow Panther Mark Clark were killed. Forensic analysis later revealed that most bullets were aimed at Hampton's bedroom, and evidence strongly suggests
FBI is crazy, bro. Like, what? I can't even be chilling and like, FBI on me, gang? Like FBI hunting me, dog? That's wild, bro. That's wild.
Suggested that Hampton, who had been sedated by barbiturates likely slipped in by the informant, was shot at point-blank range, ensuring his death. The official narrative initially claimed that the Panthers opened fire on the police, provoking a defensive response. However, subsequent investigations and outcry led to a different understanding. The raid had effectively been a targeted assassination of Hampton. Their deaths were not just a loss to the Black Power movement, but a devastating blow to the wider civil rights movement, and just one of the many examples that symbolizes the extreme measures our government is willing to take to suppress black leadership and autonomy.
Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm on the right path, and the people around me is on the right path, so we don't worry about that.
Inshallah. What's important to you guys?
Each other, our kids, our families, like others like money. That's one thing, but it ain't the biggest thing.
When you're dead and gone, is there anything that you will want to have accomplished or want your legacy to be? Like,
Make sure all our people do, like father our kids. We want to have them left with things and stuff like that, business and stuff like that. So the long term goal, and you and your people.
do you have to figure out which way Mecca is?
It's this way.
Yeah.
How would you know though?
Pull your compass out and see which way to
What if you pray this way though?
Yeah, you can't pray that way.
I also say that, gang. But you know, I could be another west.
Where is it? Mali, where is it? Okay,
I'm Tommy.
What's up? Tommy G, my boy.
Nice to meet you, man. I like the throw too. How long have you been rocking the throw and being in the Muslim?
I've been Muslim 2 years.
What happened in your life that you're like, this is what I want to do?
By me being younger, I was forced to Christianity. But I only used to like the music at church. One of the brothers had talked to me, I had a conversation, and I was engaged in it. But before I even converted over to become Muslim, I was looking into it. Before I get myself into something, looking into it, you know? And it caught my attention. So when I finally took my Shahada, opened my eyes to a lot of greatness.
What is the Shahada?
The Shahada is basically you converting over.
What does it take? Like to do a Shahada, is it just like a statement out loud, or what do you have to do to?
Yeah, you basically at the end of service, Juma, to recite it in English and Arabic.
What kind of church, when you were in Christian church, was it a Baptist church?
Yeah.
How long was that service?
1 hour, 2 hours.
Because in Milwaukee, I went to a few different Baptist churches. They would take like 3 hours, so I had to retire. That was too much for me.
Yeah, it'd be a long
by like an hour into it, I'm like, I just want.
Some niggas be working church 9 to 5, gang. Some folks be in church 9 to 5.
Get up and like start moving, start doing push-ups, start running around, and they just kept going and they kept going.
It just opened my eyes up to a lot of things that I really truly believed in. Because it's hard for me to get to believing in a lot of stuff. No disrespect to no Christians or nothing. I felt that certain things that was in the Bible wasn't describing the picture that they was trying to make.
Is there anything you had to leave behind when you became a Muslim? Like anything you had to stop doing or do differently?
Like now, it's month of Ramadan, I had to leave a lot of habits, a lot of bad habits. I had to stop eating pork. A lot of favorite candies I can't eat no more.
Everybody around you, they your brother. That's one thing about Muslims. They ain't trying to knock you down. They ain't trying to down you or none of that. You see what I'm saying? No one's bigger than no one. You feel me? They treat you like brothers.
So, question for both of you is like, when you did that publicly, did you feel anything in your heart immediately after? What was going through your head right after you did that?
Man, I just converted over. Like, man, ready. Man.
I felt loved, even around a bunch of people I didn't know.
What did your family think when you went back home and told them what happened?
It was surprising, but they loved it.
Depending on how I'm feeling, I might just go get a couple, take about 50 people some food or something. Just how I'm feeling.
Is giving back part of Islam?
It's beautiful. I really do it on the regular, like, you feel me?
Where is this?
Battle Expressway. I bought like 60 pieces and gave them back.
How do you feel when you do that?
I feel beautiful.
I feel like there's something that you realize once you do start to give back, you realize it makes you feel really good, it makes the other person feel good. Like giving back is probably one of the best things we can do.
For sure. You just fed 2,500 people. Families, man, like 2,500, man, pull up. Right here. Do events with the kids. They got pizzas. They got everything. Come out, they got face paint. It's like all of it.
It's not for us that we're looking to receive anything back or anything. We're really doing it because Allah sent us to do that.
This is your clothing line?
That's me. LLC, business owner, whatever. However you want to play, however you want to take it.
Oh, you got sweaters.
Yeah,
You're the first dude I've ever seen sell sweaters.
Yeah, jacket. You see what I'm saying? More wear sweater.
How can people find this brand?
Take a DM me, 6 Glees Hack _, you see what I'm saying? Finna have a website up and running.
What does the 31 mean on the sweater?
That's how many colors I plan on drop.
That's a lot of colors.
I got 2 kids. This for them though.
What has being a Muslim taught you about being a father or teaches you about being a father?
I really gotta stand on business for them. Like, you feel me? I don't really care about nothing else for me, you see what I'm saying?
over time as you've grown up here? Got better, worse, different? What's changed?
This is what they make it, bro. They just, it's perfect to me. It's beautiful. And it's not what they think it is or what they say, bro.
So what are you gonna eat tonight once you're done with your fast?
It depends. I might go to the mosque to break my fast, but if not, it's easy. I still eat regular stuff as long as it's not pork or nothing like that.
So we're leaving O Block. Where are we heading next?
We're going to the master, man. Undisclosed location. I ain't gonna tell y'all that, but y'all gonna see when we get there.
This is not an easy place to come in and come out. As you can see, look, they got this on lock. You gotta show an ID, you gotta go through a checkpoint. This place is on lockdown, man. Do you guys have any stories of what you've seen in O Block over the years?
These the best people y'all need to run to. Y'all don't run to my people. Them don't look. They go look. They make sure everything's secure.
But I noticed you had bear mace on you. Have you already used it?
I used it a few times.
What was the situation you used it in?
Ask your boy. Crowd get too crazy.
Crowd control.
Well, we be getting
What, you want me to ask me any questions?
No, I want to be right here. We can't be right here long too long.
Like statistically, if you want to be involved in violence, it's usually late night, it's usually alcohol, and it's usually people that know each other. So if you don't cause any issues, it's probably going to be rare that someone's going to try to cause an issue with you. O Block is no different, but
O Block is so bad, like that.
Is it?
Yes, it's O Block so bad.
What makes you say that?
We had a fight.
There's a lot of fights here?
Yes.
How often do fights happen around here?
One right there, some at the park. Yeah, the park. They shoot at the park so much.
A shootout?
Yes.
What is that like?
I don't know. I don't know.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
11?
And you don't know nothing else. You know, in 8th grade? In the 8th grade? Was I this little in 8th grade? 8th grade? 11? Hold up, I'm tweet now. Brody got it. Hey, 12 freshman. Huh? He one he one of them Chicago boys now. What? 11, 8th grade. 12 freshman. Nah, he one of them Chicago boys. Nah, he got me in the first half. He one of them Chicago Captain merch.
8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade?
And what's 10 times 10?
100.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 badass Chicago little boy. I'm finna say, but come on now. He ain't no 8th grade. Oh, 11. What?
Plus 20?
Yeah.
You tell me.
40.
40? Hey, keep studying hard, alright, brother?
Okay.
Have a good day, okay?
Okay.
We're hopping the car. We're gonna follow them to the mosque.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid. Let me not be. He a good kid. That's a good kid. That was crazy though. 11.
So we want to take a deeper dive into Islam and why it's attracting people to join. It's the fastest growing religion in the world right now. One way it's spreading in America is in the prison system. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about that history right now.
Go home,
Since World War II, Islam has steadily grown throughout the U.S. prison system. The Moorish Temple and the Nation of Islam are the two primary forces behind this movement. Much of the momentum came after Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad and around 100 other members of the group were
a lot of them niggas be saying Elijah Muhammad. Oh, come on.
The momentum came after Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad and around 100 other members of the group were sentenced to prison for World War II draft evasion, and in their time at prison they began to spread the message of Islam. Through the 1960s, Islam continued to spread through the prisons. The two main factors driving this was the increase of incarcerated black men and the empowerment and popularity of the civil rights movement. Furthermore, the 1962 court case Fullwood v. Clummer ruled that incarcerated Muslims had a legal right to practice their religion. The increase in prominence of Islam did come with challenges, however. Many Muslim prisoners were denied by guards the ability to spread religious literature and the ability to meet and conduct religious services.
A lot of them don't get the Quran, if I'm right. They don't be giving them the Quran.
In one such case, Cooper versus Pate, refusal of access to religious texts in Illinois Stateville Prison was ruled unconstitutional and a violation of the freedom of religion by the Supreme Court. These challenges would increase following the September 11th attacks. The U.S. Bureau of Prisons froze the hiring of Islamic chaplains following the attacks in an attempt to reduce radicalization among the inmates. Today, Islam is the fastest growing religion throughout the U.S. prison system, with an estimated 80% of imprisoned converts becoming Muslim and an estimated 35,000 to 40,000 converts coming every single year. One of the appeals of Islam is that the structure and brotherhood of the religion is an attractive alternative to the danger and chaos of the streets. I always recommend 3 biographies to people: Benjamin Franklin, Teddy Roosevelt, and Malcolm X. Those are biographies that I might read once a year of each of those guys, just because they live such interesting and purpose-driven lives. So I want to focus on Malcolm X right now. A lot of people think that he's a black separatist, that he wanted to split black and white people up. And for part of his life he did when he was in the Nation of Islam. Then he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca, and he saw white brothers from Chechnya, he saw Middle Eastern brothers from Syria, he saw people from all across the world, and he realized we all are one, we all can be brothers. He died tragically just as his career was taking off, and I think it could have made a positive difference. Let's cover his assassination.
Malcolm X is one of the essential characters in the story of the Black Muslim movement. He was born in 1925 and his life quickly became hectic. When he was 3, his family had to move from Omaha because of threats from the KKK. When he was 6, his father's bizarre and tragic death convinced Malcolm it was the work of white supremacists. His father's death drove his mother to insanity and led to her becoming institutionalized in a mental hospital. Malcolm began to find trouble as a juvenile, and his criminal activity led him to become a ward of the state by the age of 14. He was assigned to a boarding school under the supervision of a white family. At this boarding school, he excelled academically and socially, and he developed aspirations to become a lawyer. However, his English teacher shot down his dreams and told him that as a Negro, he should set his sights lower on things like becoming a janitor or carpenter. Experiencing a massive frustration with the white world he felt limited by, he moved to black-dominated Harlem and began a life of crime. He and his friend Shorty ran a burglary ring, and he supplemented his income with pimping and selling reefer. Outside of crime, he became well known around town for his dance moves, his zoot suits, and he tore up Lindy Hop dance clubs. Eventually, he was caught for his crimes and sent to prison. It was here his life changed and he discovered Islam. He joined the Nation of Islam and educated himself in prison by reading every book he could get his hands on. And in doing this, he emerged as a powerful and influential leader. From the time he was released in prison in 1952 to 1960, he helped grow the Nation of Islam from 400 members to 40,000. As a prominent figure in the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X advocated strongly for black empowerment and self-sufficiency. Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad handpicked him as his right-hand man and sent him around the country to give speeches, rally up the troops, and grow numerous mosques. His compelling speeches brought him national attention, and his views often sparked controversy. His growing popularity eventually led Elijah Muhammad to feel threatened, and this later led to Malcolm leaving the Nation of Islam in 1964. It was then that he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca, where he met Muslim brothers of every color across the globe. And from this, he returned with a new understanding of race relations.
What does leaving the Nation of Islam mean? I gotta watch that movie Malcolm X too, but what does that mean? Like, is Islam a place? I thought Islam was a religion.
His growing popularity eventually led Elijah Muhammad to feel threatened, and this later led to Malcolm leaving the Nation of Islam in 1964.
So he left the religion and then went to Mecca though. I don't know, but shit, y'all help me.
It was then that he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca, where he met Muslim brothers of every color across the globe. And from this, he returned with a new understanding of race relations and a commitment to racial equality and harmony. Malcolm X's life was tragically cut short in 1965 when a Nation of Islam member assassinated him. Many believe that the FBI had a hand in this. He remains a key figure in the fight against racial injustice and is a widely celebrated black hero.
How you doing, bro?
How you doing, right? Finally to meet you, man.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
So
tell the people who you are.
Man, I'm Sadiq Ali, man. Down here at Barrier Imports at 321 East Persian Road, Chicago, Illinois, 60653 with my man Tommy G.
Yeah. This is Sadiq Ali. Long ago, he used to hustle in the streets. Now he's dedicated his life to religion and runs a group called Muslimmatics, where he guides people on their journey in Islam. If you'd like to get more involved with Islam in Chicago, his link is in my description.
Come on,
you have a very peaceful and relaxed presence about you.
I'm very peaceful and very relaxed.
That's a good aura to have. And it's Friday. Tell the people what's special about Friday.
Friday is our holy day, Muslim holy day. Friday, Jummah Friday. Alhamdulillah, we all come together. And it's the last Friday of Ramadan, so it's kind of special. Everybody's going to be packed down here. It's just beginning. We're starting in about another 30 minutes or so.
People have almost made it the entire month doing Ramadan, which is no easy feat. That's hard to do. What are the biggest challenges people face during Ramadan?
Not eating.
Or drinking water?
Not eating or drinking water. You know what I mean? That's a big challenge. But it's a good challenge because it's for Allah. And the fast is for Allah, because only Allah knows if you fast. People can say whatever they want to say, but only God knows if you're fasting or not.
Are you from Chicago?
I'm born and raised in Chicago, Illinois.
How see that though? He said Allah and then he said God. Islam got a big tie with God. Like they believe in the same things. It's just like, you know, it's all different, man. I feel like it's all perspective, bro. All this stuff is perspective and what you truly be like. Bro said the Muslim brought him more stuff that he truly believed in than Christianity. I feel like if you give your if you know that there's a higher power than you, I feel like you good. You know what I'm saying? Because there's many religions, and I believe even Buddhists, all them, like they don't believe in that for no reason. there's a reason that they've come to this in their point. So it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying, bro? You can't stop these religions, bro. Like he just said, Allah, God. So many beliefs. Some niggas believe in 9 gods, 10, 12 gods. Like, I ain't gonna lie. One thing I do believe in is one. It's one higher power. It's one, maybe a couple, like a boy and a girl up there. But yeah,
Islam started to seep into O Block. Like, how did?
Not too. I would love to be more into my religion, like more connected with my higher power, but I'm too immature. If I'm being real, not mature enough.
Let's go next door. We can talk more deeper.
It's about to be prayer.
My boy Tommy G, man.
How are you?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about what's going through your head today. It's prayer day today. We're close to the end of Ramadan.
So tonight, Layla through Qadr.
Yeah, it's the odd night. Alhamdulillah. Last 10 nights of Ramadan.
How many Ramadans have you been through before?
I made my shahada when I was like 21, but I really started deening probably like a year or two ago. So I said it's like my fourth Ramadan.
What made you say this is something I want to do and become and want to be a part of?
That's a long story, but I'm gonna cut it short for you. I had a conversation with a Muslim man, and we just had like a lot, and he encouraged me to go do research on my own. And once I did it, I went in and I just made my shahada. You know, I made my profession of faith. So
beautiful. I hope we have a good Friday prayer. Okay. Are there some basic phrases, Arabic phrases that we can teach the audience today?
Assalamu alaikum.
That means hello.
That means may peace and blessings be upon you.
Is there anything else you'd like to teach the audience?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah means all praises to Allah. All praises to God.
I learned that a lot from Khabib, the fighter. If you ever watched it.
All praises to Allah. All praises to God.
I learned that. Teach the audience. That means hello.
That means may peace and blessings be upon you.
Is there anything else you'd like to teach the audience?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah means all praises to Allah. All praises to God.
I learned that a lot from Khabib, the fighter. If you ever watched
Yeah, that's my man.
He would say Alhamdulillah an awful lot.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. But you got Muhammad Ali. You know, I can't take Muhammad Ali out. You know, I always think,
of course,
that's the legend. You know what I mean? Muhammad Ali was definitely one of the best.
What brought you to this? What made you decide this is where I want to dedicate my life to and bring other people into it?
Well, what brought me to it is really, man, you know, I've been from the streets all my life, you know what I mean? So I know the streets. I know what the streets and what they evolved. And so with me coming from the streets and knowing everything about the streets and be able to be a big brother to the brother that I didn't have from the streets, you know what I mean? When I implanted in the streets was just, I had got it out the mud. I was just there, you know, so whatever I learned on my own. But to be able to be a big brother to these brothers, to be able to show them that it's more to just the streets.
What do you think's making guys like Little Durk say, this is what I want to join?
After you've been doing, after a person have dealt so much bad in their life, you know what I mean, coming from the ghettos and the trenches of Chicago, after they've seen so much bad, and to be able to taste something good, man, of course you want to stick to that. You know what I mean? Once you taste this and drink this, man, you're going to want it. You're going to want it. It's a very good taste.
How did you guys meet?
I've been knowing him since they were pup. Like, you know what I mean? He's little babies. I've been knowing them since they was little.
So if a guy comes here for Friday,
he OG. That's a really OG. He didn't change his life though. You feel me?
Prayer. Then on Saturday he's out, you know, chugging a 40 and doing a music video with like, hey, I'm gonna shoot out.
Knowing them since they was little.
So if a guy comes here for Friday prayer, then on Saturday he's out, you know, chugging a 40 and doing a music video with like, hey, I'm gonna shoot up this guy, shoot up that guy. How do you coach him along the path?
That's how I explained to the youngsters. I said, imagine us that we on a boat, okay, and then you want to, and you know it's hot on the boat, we all on the boat, and of course people want to test the water, they want to jump in the water, right? The boat is a lie, okay, so you jumped in the water, but if you don't keep your hands on the rope of the boat, then you're gonna drown, right or wrong.
Right.
But as long as I got my hand on the rope of the boat and I'm dealing with the water, I can still pull one way, one out, until I really realize that this water ain't for me, because I'm going to end up dying if I stay in this water. I'm going to lose. But if I get back on this boat and pull back on this boat and do right, then I can float.
So it's not like a zero-sum game. You can be, because that's the other thing.
Like bro was saying, he said he did his Shabbat when he was 21, but he ain't started doing stuff till like 2-3 years ago.
Everybody is welcome.
Yes.
I don't care what they do.
Yeah.
How they doing? They want to smoke weed, drink, like girls, and kill, and shoot. Come.
Yeah.
We want y'all to come. Once they taste this, that's gonna come up out of them. It's gonna be like a detox. It's gonna flush right out. So look at our brother right now. You know what I mean? Take it back a year, 2-3 years back and watch him and see where he at right now.
So tell the people who you are.
My name Gatto, bro. I'm formerly known as El Gatto in Chicago. My name Gatto 2 times now. Everybody pretty much know me in the city.
From music
For music.
Okay.
For music, yeah.
And you said you just recently took your Shahada.
I just took my Shahada March 20th, bro.
Okay, what brought you to that point? What made you say this is what you want to do?
So you know, I believe you got good intent and you believe it's one God. You Muslim. You just got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like it was for me, bro. So my brother Mafi, he been Muslim, so he started bringing me to the Juma, to the mosque.
When he first invited you, what was your impression?
I'm at home. I'm at home, at the crib. That's what it felt like. We came every day. We don't even just come on Friday. We be in here every day, chilling.
Yeah. And God, how have you seen Islam start to change or impact your life? What have you noticed?
My actions changed, bro. I started holding myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? I started taking wrongdoings more serious. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that it's real. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure I pray 5 times a day, at least trying to stand on that. You feel me? And just. Yeah, bro, it's just, you know, frequency, energy, bro. Like, you don't want to, at first, like, I used to ride home every night trying to decide whether I was making a right or wrong decision. Now I don't got to do that.
Have you guys got any pushback from family or friends?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
I ain't gonna lie. This every day, but like I always tell people, I don't go around telling nobody to be Muslim. Like, I'm not telling nobody, like, you should be Muslim. Like, we like to believe that Allah chooses us. Everybody not gonna be Muslim. That's just the fact of the matter. Everybody not gonna be Muslim. I'm gonna read this for you, bro, because you just asked us, do we go through, what do we go through as far as our family and all this going against us, right? The book tell you, as for those who persist in disbelief, it is the same whether you warn them or not, they will never believe. God has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and their sight is covered. They will suffer a tremendous punishment. So it's nothing we could do. But
it's almost like when Moses goes to the Pharaoh, and every time he tries to plead with the Pharaoh, the Lord hardens his heart and he doesn't want to hear it. But then eventually, after enough suffering, he does hear it.
What I'm referring to is a story from the book of Exodus where Moses is called by God to free the Hebrews from the slavery of the Egyptians. When Moses politely asked the Pharaoh to free his people, the Pharaoh decides he'd rather not lose the free labor force that was building his sick.
Hold up, I ain't gonna lie. Bro, like, life is crazy. Like, things in Egypt was really like this, you know what I'm saying? Jerusalem, all them across the, you feel me? Shit was really like this, bro. Like, this is wild. How long has this earth been like, bro? What? Where do we live, dog? Like, this stuff be getting me, you know what I'm saying? When they try to add video reenactments, man, that's when you be getting me, dog.
Pyramids. So he said,
hieroglyphics and calligraphy. Man, where did this shit come from, bro? How long we been here?
No thanks, Moses. Undeterred, Moses leveraged the power of the Lord to unleash a psyop and biological warfare of biblical proportions against the Pharaoh and his people. There were rivers of blood, a frog apocalypse, locust swarms, and even 3 days of darkness. But this was not enough to make the Pharaoh fold. God hardened his heart and the Pharaoh stood on
frog apocalypse is crazy.
Business. But then Moses dealt a final blow of deleting all firstborn Egyptians from earth, and somehow God co-signed this plan and helped Moses spin the block against the firstborns. It was only then that Pharaoh agreed to free the slaves. Moses then gathered his peeps, parted the Red Sea like a boss, and delivered his people out of Egypt. All this to say, hardening of the heart, whether it's done by Allah or God, is a common theme in religious texts.
Who are some other Muslim heroes that you guys look up to?
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Tell the people about that, because I think he's misunderstood. I think in the media he's portrayed as a separatist. He wanted to kind of separate black people, white people, but they missed the part of the story where he went to Mecca, he went on his pilgrimage, he saw white brothers from Chechnya, he saw Arabian brothers from Saudi Arabia, he saw people from all over the world.
Usually the ending of everybody's story be the good part, the good story, you know what I mean? But our brother Malcolm X, you know what I mean, I would like to say that, man, me personally, I would like to say I'm one of the descendants of him, you know what I mean?
He probably impacted him directly.
He laid the foundation for us to be able to how we doing what we doing right now.
I guess maybe where I want to go with this is like when people come up that can unite people. Well, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, JFK, they get taken out. And so some people go with the conspiracy route, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But let's just say that another strong Islamic movement hit Chicago, and there's some very strong leaders.
Right now.
Do you think there's any that you guys think you have to think like, man, is the government going to take me out? Or
I told you we don't do no worries, but at the same time, Allah.
I mean, we know that people are looking at us, trying to probably thinking certain things that we doing. We trying to put, we stopping boys that was out here killing one another.
Do you think the FBI is, like, has their eyes on this movement?
I hope they don't. I pray that they don't have their eyes on this movement. But if they do, I pray that they look and see the good that we doing and not the bad. You know, we just want to bring peace to our people.
Gotta be. It ain't always gotta be negative. Shout out to this.
Okay, so where are you taking us next?
You know, right now it's been so packed over here, man. We've been doing a lot of dawah, man. A lot of people been coming down and you know, embracing Islam. So right now y'all gonna be witnessing like the live Jumu'ah.
Okay. How long did it take to build it like this?
Man, really, like, to be honest with you, man, like, really, like, this year, man, we, you know, since we started our little dawah program, really pushing the dawah like that, it really got packed, man. A lot of people came in and started coming down.
Because it can take years to get something off the ground. It's exciting to see when...
Allah gonna make it easy.
Yeah.
Allah gonna make it easy. People want to join. Be right. Right tastes good.
So what is happening right
now? It's the you know, the imam is speaking. He's giving us something they call a kubah. He's speaking. He's, you know, he's giving us the knowledge of the deen. You know?
And the imam is the teacher.
The imam is the teacher.
Is that equivalent to pastor?
Yeah, you can say that. But he's our leader. He's our imam. Yeah.
Okay. How important is giving back to Islam?
It's very important to give back. You know, that's what we're doing right now. We're giving back. We out here, you know, telling the people about Islam. That's what we're doing. Giving back to our people. All people. Doors are open. You know what I mean?
Is this Shia or Sunni Islam?
Sunni.
The Muslim faith has two major sects, Sunni and Shia. After the death of the Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD, there was a debate on who should become the next leader of the Islamic Caliphate. Those who pulled for Muhammad's friend Abu Bakr became the Sunnis, and those who wanted the leadership of Muhammad's cousin Ali became the Shias. Sunnis make up the vast majority with around 90% of the global Muslim population. Here's how they differ. During prayer, Shias have their hands by their sides, and Sunnis keep their arms folded. Also during prayer, Shias are mandated to touch their forehead to natural material, while the Sunnis are not. From an outsider perspective, it seems like relatively minor differences separate the two groups, but these differences have resulted in major power struggles. A few years back in Iraq, Saddam Hussein's Ba'ath Party was highly repressive of the Shia majority, and currently in Syria, the country's Sunni majority are oppressed by the Shia-dominated government. Whether it's Protestant versus Catholic, the Packers versus the Bears, Democrat versus Republican, humans prove time again that we are tribal creatures.
Okay, so if I were to convert, I'm going to ask a few different questions of what I can keep doing and what I can't do anymore. Let's start with the easy one, pork and bacon.
No, you can't eat none of that. It's not good for you anyway. You shouldn't eat that, period.
I told him.
Okay,
That in the Bible.
Let's go to another important one for male. Can you still your baby?
Oh, you don't spoil the
Not zero whatsoever?
Leave that alone.
Brody be getting down, and right here, my dog be doing his thug. This one, he can't hide it, dog. Yeah, he cannot hide it.
Man, it's hurting yourself.
Oh God, you can't hide it.
I'd be a Muslim and go record a drill music video where I talk about shooting all my eyes.
Yes, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you have premarital sex as a Muslim?
No, you don't supposed to have premarital sex as a Muslim, but you know, like I said again, if you come into the deen and you having premarital sex already, just, you know, learn about that and then marry it. If you want to have sex
Hey,
with us,
I have good news. I can have sex because I'm married.
Alhamdulillah.
Is there a brother here that has a story of prison conversion that we can talk about?
I've been in prison.
What'd you go away for?
Drugs.
Yeah. And how long into your journey in prison do you decide to change and seek a different path?
Immediately when I get in there, because you know I didn't like to do weird stuff. You know what I mean? Play around like that. So immediately I got right on the business. You know what I mean? Got towards put my life together. Because jail is not it.
Yeah, it's over with. You can wrap it up with that.
Yeah.
We gotta get the crib.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for what you're doing, too.
You can start rolling now.
As we were putting the finishing touches on this documentary, I found out that Gleesh was actually in Saudi Arabia on a pilgrimage to Mecca at that moment. So I gave him a call, and while the audio didn't record, but what he did say over and over again is, "This is beautiful. This is beautiful." He was just contagious with his positive energy. He was excited to come back to Chicago and spread the message even more. So I'm excited that him and Sadiq got to go on this trip, and I'm excited for the future of Chicago and the possibility of peace that they can bring into the city. I do believe this is a life-changing trip. Again, if you want to donate to the GoFundMe, the link is in the description.
Go donate to them boys, man. Get them boys to Mecca, man. Support them boys and they religious journey, dog, because it's all we can do, man. Support our religions. I support y'all beliefs. I ain't gonna lie. You could believe what you believe in. You worship what you worship. You do it for a reason. That's why you're doing it now. Yeah, appreciate that. Small little 40-minute banger. It's cute. Shout out Tommy G.